Hi dear students, I hope you're doing well. In the last lecture we discussed present tense, present simple, continuous, perfect and perfect continuous. Let us understand past tense today. Past, it means what has already happened. So if we talk about simple or indefinite past, helping verb we use is did. Main verb that we use is V1 and V2. V1 and V2 we use as a main verb. V1, as you know, the main form of the verb or first form of the verb, like go, play, sleep, drink. V2 is second form of the verb, like go, went, play, played, sleep, slept, break, broke, eat, ate, second form. It's a very simple or easy tense to understand. It's very simple because we have already discussed present indefinite or present simple, which is the most difficult tense. Now it's now easy to understand other tenses. He went home. Went is the second form of go. So V2 we use in case of a positive statement, or you can say simple sentence, or you can say assertive or affirmative sentence. V2. If I speak my yesterday's activities, what I did the whole day yesterday, so I can say yesterday I woke up, not wake up, woke up, second form. I woke up at 5 a.m. I went for a morning walk with my friends. I came back home. I took my breakfast. I got ready for college. I went to my college. I attended my lectures. I came back home. I took my lunch around 2 p.m. I went for an evening walk with my friends around 5 p.m. I came back home. I studied for 2 hours. I watched television for a while. I went to sleep around 11 p.m. What I'm doing is I'm using V2, second form, whatever I did yesterday or whatever has happened in the past. Alright, this past is whether I have done it half an hour ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago maybe. So what we say is just V2, second form of the word. Very simple. But as soon as you say not, I mean you make a negative statement or an interrogative sentence, he did not go home. Now we are using go, V1 or first form of the word, as I said. A negative statement we use not, and with did, the helping verb using. I did not go. I went to my college. All my friends went home, but I did not go home. Or I came back home, but my friend, he did not go home. Now we are saying go, not went. Went in case of a positive statement, or you can say any assertive affirmative statement, and negative did. It's not like we don't use did with the positive sentences. We can say I did go home, but I did not meet my mother. I did go home. It means sometimes with affirmative sentences also, when we emphasize somewhere, I did go home. It's not a simple statement. It is emphasizing, I mean, a little extreme, or you can say a rare condition when we say. All you need to understand in this tense is whenever we use the word did, we do not use V2. V2 and did, these two things are not used together. All you need to understand is whenever you say did, you cannot say went. Reason being, did show past tense. Did shows here past tense. V2 also shows past tense. Went means past tense. He went home. You have already understood that this is something past. He did not go home. You have understood this is past tense. How? Did, went. So there is no need to say he did not went home. If the helping verb is already there is no need to change the form of the main verb. That is the simple reason. If you make an interrogative sentence, did he go home or where did he go? So whatever sentences you are making, you just need to remember, when you use the word did, you do not use V2, you use V1. In this way, we use V1 and V2, both the forms of main verb in past simple tense. Condition I have already told you, whatever has happened in the past, whether 5 minutes ago, 5 hours ago, or 500 years ago. Ram killed Ravan many years ago. So this is what simple past is. Now let me erase the board and let me tell you what past continuous, past perfect and past perfect continuous is. My dear students, continuous, as I said earlier, continue or progressive tense. Something was happening in present. Continuous we discussed. Something is happening at this moment. What I am doing this time, I am writing something, I am teaching you English, we are discussing English. But what was happening yesterday at the same time, past continuous tense. He was going home. As far as structure, we use was, were, helping verbs, was and were. Was, you understand? I hope you know. With singular, were with plural. He was singular. We were, they were. People were, boys were, students were. And main verb, as you know, it is V4. V4 means adding ing with the main form of the word. So was and were. He was going home. In negative or interrogative sentences also, what we say is he was not going home. Was he going home? Where was he going after lunch? So whether the condition is positive, affirmative, negative or interrogative, in all the cases we use the same helping verbs, was, were, as per the subject, singular or plural, and V4 ing with the verb. I hope this particular tense is not difficult to understand. Something was happening. When I reached his house, he was playing the guitar. When I reached the college, the teacher was teaching something. So something was happening in the past at that moment, at any moment. I hope you now understand what happened. I was playing the guitar when he came. I was playing the guitar, past continuous. Something was happening at that moment. When he came, past simple, past indefinite. When he came, I was playing the guitar. The difference between the two tenses, past simple and past progressive or past continuous. So now let us move to past perfect and past perfect continuous. Alright. Past perfect had, and main verb is V3. Had, he had gone home. Alright, first let us understand the helping verb. In present perfect tense we use has and have, but in case of past perfect only one helping verb, had. Had shows past tense here, and as far as V3, third form of the verb, gone, broken, taken, eaten. V3, third form of the verb we are using. Past perfect, as per the name perfect, perfection, completion, we are showing that the work had already been done by the subject. So something had happened. Now there is a small doubt. Sometimes we know when we use past perfect or when we use the past simple tense, what is that condition when we say had? Or some students say, sir, I went home or I had gone home. What is the difference, or what is that condition when we use it? The only difference between past simple and past indefinite is these two sentences are used together most of the times, or to clarify the condition. If I want to clarify the situation or condition, the situation is the patient had died before the doctor reached. Now in this particular sentence, two things are happening. The patient had died, something had already happened, had died, V3 with had. When before the doctor reached, past simple, the patient had died. The train had left the station before we reached. So with this conjunction before, we can easily understand the difference between past simple and past perfect. Past perfect, the train had left before I reached the station. The teacher had already started the lecture before we arrived the class, or before we arrived the college. So what is happening here? Past simple and past perfect. Something had already happened when something happened. So this difference, I think it is very important to understand this difference also. One last tense, my dear friend, past perfect continuous tense, as we understood earlier, present perfect continuous tense. Past perfect continuous, he was going home, past continuous tense. Or I think the last time I made an example, he is reading a book and he has been reading a book. Or what we do is, now let us understand the helping verb. All right, past perfect continuous, he was reading a book. What was happening? When I called him, he was reading a book. When I asked him how long, he said he had been reading a book for 2 days, or since 9 a.m. or since 9 o'clock or since Monday or since January. So something had been happening. As I said, was and were is replaced with the had been. Why? Because we have already used time here. So he was reading a book, he was living in Mumbai. He was living in Mumbai. Past continuous tense, just an information. He had been living in Mumbai for 3 weeks. He had been living in Mumbai for 2 years, or since 1995. So now you have added time. So the only difference between past continuous and past perfect continuous, or you can say perfect and perfect continuous, is in perfect, in continuous we show that something was happening, and perfect continuous, something had been happening since or for this period of time. This is the difference. I hope you have understood it. Now let us move to other tenses. I hope you are getting the lectures, and I need your messages, your responses. If you want more clarification, do send me your messages and do contact me in case of any confusion. Thank you.